this main event has been entertaining as we've been highlighting the undefeated Peruvian Jonathan Maicelo in a spirited effort against the sturdy Rustam Nugaev. The 21-month layoff in Nugaev is giving a real test here to the 16-0 fighter.
And again, Joe, you mentioned that 21-month layoff. As I put it, 1 year and 9 months sounds a little longer. But Nugaev, you would figure the early rounds, he's going to be battling that rust a little bit. And you would figure once he does that, the later rounds are going to be better rounds for him. And if that's true, if that's going to play out that way, Maicelo's going to have a difficult time getting to that finish line. Nugaev reminds me of a tall building. I mean, he stands straight up in front of you, and he gives you a chance to go and smash a lot of windows.
It's a 5'10" lightweight. 5'10" to 5'7" is the height difference here from Nugaev to the shorter Maicelo.
Again, I still think that Nugaev, I'm surprised his corner has not, really to me, there's two things I would have concentrated on the fight plan if I'm in the corner of Nugaev. One would have been go to the body, take those legs away from Maicelo, who likes to use those legs, and he's using them a little bit now for defense and to set up offense, to get angles, to get position. But the other thing I'd be doing if I'm in the corner of Nugaev, tell him to use that jab more. You know, there's no better way to stabilize a guy who's on the outside, moving a little bit, boxing, than to use the jab. Right now, Nugaev stabilizing him his own way. Just banging away on the inside, getting Maicelo to lay there more than Maicelo should lay there.
He's had success with the left hand here in the middle of this 6th round. There he goes to the body.
Yeah, that body, and it's a telling punch, Joe. It affected Maicelo. You could see it.
And again, Teddy, he goes to that right flank of Maicelo.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Nugaev to go to the body. He's starting to do that now, and it's really paying for him. It's paying off really well for him. See, now's where I use the jab if I'm Nugaev. Control that outside, take all hope away from Maicelo. Use that jab and keep him from pot shot. Keep him from navigating around. See, when there's no jab coming in from there's the jab from Nugaev. Very effective. Which one was it? There's two. One, I'm assuming it was that one.
Right hand by Nugaev in the 4th round, as he has given Maicelo everything he can handle here in our main event as we begin round number 7, scheduled for 10. And just to set the table one more time here, Maicelo comes in as the guy that a lot of people were anxious to see. 16-0, very popular Peruvian fighter. Back in his home country, he's a national celebrity. He's been fighting and training out of New Jersey. This is a step-up fight for him, his U.S. TV debut.
You know, I found it interesting, one of the quotes from Maicelo, you know, he was talking about living in New Jersey. You just talked about it. He says he lives in an apartment with the Cuban Olympian, Eugenio Yugas, and some other fighters. And he said, these were his words, it's like a concentration camp. And then he went on to say, on weekends, I go spend time with my wife and son. You know, I hate to tell him, but in concentration camps, you usually don't get allowed to go out and spend time with your wife and son.
We'll choose his words a little differently here. The action picks up in the midst of round 7 as Maicelo trying to show
he's hurt,
but he got clipped by that.
Listen, I said it from the beginning that I was concerned, probably in the 1st round I started saying it, for Maicelo in this fight with Nugaev. Just because I didn't know if he could handle the steady onslaught of pressure all night long. It wears you down. It breaks pipes, and it breaks people. And I see that pressure from Nugaev starting to break Maicelo a little bit.
Oh, he just went back from that left hand.
And remember, Nugaev not a big puncher, but a relentless puncher. Guy who's always on you.
12 knockouts in 28 professional fights for Nugaev. Just steady, consistently taking steps forward.
Nugaev is like that neighbor that never leaves, that always comes over your house and there's a mouthpiece being
a very
knocked out.
convenient mouthpiece hitting the canvas.
Maicelo's not looking good right now. They're in a not really looking good. His body language is not what you want to see if you're a supporter of his.
Maicelo now showing a spurt here as Nugaev just comes forward, trying to meet him punch for punch.
I get the feeling this is the last gasp for Maicelo right here. I mean that he's trying to pull everything out. He's looking for a big shot now, but he's starting to dissipate. He's starting to evaporate a little bit.
What dribbling down the bridge of the nose of the unbeaten Peruvian.
You know those pesky neighbors that come over your house, they never go away, they never stop. You like to get rid of them, you don't know how? Well, I'm sure that's how Maicelo feels about Nugaev right now.
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you.
Take a look here. Nothing fancy. Nugaev coming forward. Maicelo going back. We said it early, and again, Maicelo going back with his hands down on a straight line. And Nugaev with those long arms, well, he can reach. And that's where those long arms come in handy. You know, with shorter arms, maybe that punch misses. Does not miss there.
Right. Thank you.
Nugaev ready for action. Maicelo taking every cherished second in between. Number 8 scheduled for 10. Maicelo trying to stay unbeaten. Nugaev closing in on him, cutting down that ring. Teddy's scorecard as we start off the 8th. He's got the upset brewing here, 68-65. You, the viewer at home, you can go to Facebook, click on live scoring, and join in. 4 rounds to 3 for Maicelo.
I think it makes a huge difference when Nugaev goes to the body. A couple rounds ago, he went to the body, and you could see vividly that he hurt Maicelo. But he hasn't gone to the body since then, has not consistently gone to the body, I don't think, quite enough. I think he really would take a lot more steam out of Maicelo if he would go to the body. Also, the other thing I think is very telling is when Nugaev walks in, he should do it behind the jab. Again, watch. You come in with no jab, you give Maicelo a chance to pick you coming in. You pot shot you a little bit. Move, be left alone a little bit. Jab a little bit. But if there's a jab coming in Maicelo, well, that neutralizes all that. Takes all that away. And most of the landing there is by Nugaev.
Did he ever land there? Good night, sweet prince. Ain't pretty no more. How about that?
Actually,
Punch destruction.
you know, actually, in all fairness, I'm not saying he would have been able to continue, but we care about saying the truth and saying what we see here. Not what's always convenient, but Maicelo was going to try to get up there, but for whatever reason, Jack Reeves decided to push him back down and not let him try to get up. You know, maybe it's something we saw in his eyes that we can't see. He's in the ring with him, but if we see the replay, we'll see it. He was going to try to get up. Yes, he went down, he showed that kind of impact, and he laid there for a second. You're allowed to do that as long as you get up before the count of 10. He started to get up, and it was already called off by the referee. But I don't think it would have changed anything, to be honest. I said this from early on in this fight, that I had the distinct feeling from the beginning that it was going to be the kind of fight that Nugaev was just going to